Hey there, everybody. Welcome into this Thursday edition of ESPN FC's Extra Time. We have your tweets. We have Shaka Hislop wiggling his head weirdly, and Don Hutchison acting totally normal with us as well. Shaka, first question for you. Who's the best player not to have won the Champions League? Ibrahimovic, Brazilian Ronaldo, or Buffon? I can't believe we put a goalie in as an option and are expecting Shaka not to take it. Go ahead, Shaka.
Oh, I was about to say, I was wondering where you're going with that one. I can't believe you put a goalie involved. Ibrahimovic has never won the Champions League? That surprised me. Who's the other option? Ibrahimovic, Buffon, and who?
Brazilian Ronaldo.
Oh. Brazilian Ronaldo's never won the Champions League either?
There you go. Some big names, yeah.
Wow. Goodness me. I'm rather strangely, I'm going to go Brazilian Ronaldo. I still think Brazilian Ronaldo is one of the best players to have ever played, and you can make a very strong argument for the best of all time. That being said, as much as I love Gigi Buffon, as much as I love Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I'm going to have to go Brazilian Ronaldo.
All right. Don, I don't know if you caught it, but on yesterday's show, Frank mentioned that he receives insight into what Chelsea fans are thinking from his special Chelsea group on social media. So the question here from Frank McManaman, one of our frequent tweeters, is who gets better insight, you from Frank Lampard or Frank from his Facebook group?
I can't. I mean, I've not texted Frank for a little while. I can't imagine what Frank's doing on a Facebook group. I mean, what info is he getting there?
We're told he has a lot of friends on Facebook, so he's quite a popular guy on the social networks.
I'll give it to Frank then. I'll give it to Frank.
All right. I have to get back to those contacts. Next question. When Mourinho first came to Chelsea, what style of football did he play? And if it was counter-style football, did he receive the same type of criticisms he is now receiving with Spurs? Don, you remember that far back?
I do, but I don't. My memory of his Chelsea days weren't that bad. I mean, there was games in certain games, especially the big games, where he was a bit defensive. That was Jose's style, but my recollection of his whole time there was quite positive. And I think it's a natural reaction. I think when you go into a new job, you want to be hard to beat. You want to keep clean sheets. So you're not exactly going to try and score 5 to 6 goals every single week. That's what we're seeing at Tottenham at the moment. Early on, they were scoring goals. Now they've tightened up, and I don't think they're a bad watch, apart from the game at the weekend, I must say.
Shaka, Mourinho's definitely gotten more pragmatic, or whatever the word you want to use, as he's gotten older, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, without question. I remember his early days, and I remember how much the league needed Chelsea, Mourinho, and Abramovich at the time, just to challenge Manchester United and their ability to spend. I know, listen, I can't remember the tactics specifically, but I remember at no point thinking that Mourinho or Chelsea and Mourinho were negative or just pragmatic. But it's certainly within the first year or two, that was my impression. But slowly but surely, it became that way. And in particular, in the second spell, where I thought Chelsea were just playing for a 1-0 every single time they seemed to take the field.
Don, people are coming for you in today's questions. Why is no one, especially Don, talking about Moyes West Ham and a good start, given that most of the panel predicted he would be sacked early? Don, defend yourself.
Well, I can't believe, Sebi, that Shaka hasn't got West Ham in his top 10 in the power rankings.
Classic deflection tactic here, right? I'm not the bad guy. The other guy's the bad guy.
I know, but he's done an unbelievable job, isn't he?
John, if West Ham beat Manchester United on the weekend, West Ham are in.
Where, though? Where are they going in?
One. Best team in the universe.
Shaka, people take your power rankings far too seriously for you to do that. You are former Hammer of the Year, the internet tells me. Why have you turned your back on your club? Why aren't they in the power rankings this week, Shaka?
Good question.
Because I want them to be underestimated.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure it's on the bulletin board there in the dressing room. Next question from Dan, the Orange Man. What were the worst refereeing decisions your team was on the end of during your playing days? Don, is there one that stands out?
It is easy. Merseyside derby, playing for Everton at Goodison. I score a goal off my backside at 0-0 in the Gladys Street end with 5 seconds on the clock. It hits my backside, it rolls over the line, and just as it gets over the line, Graham Poll blows his whistle for full time, and he declares it didn't cross the line when it actually did. 0-0 instead of Everton winning 1-0. And Evertonians still go ballistic over that decision today.
Shaka, you got one?
I've let it go, though. I've let it go.
Clearly.
I'll give you two. One was rather inconsequential. I remember playing, this is in my very early days, this is probably my second season, playing for Reading, away to Grimsby of all places. Grimsby scored, and the ball was seriously about 4 or 5 feet over the line. I was just lying there and saw the ball just kind of right next to me. I'm well in the goal, and just kind of punch the ball out of the goal in frustration. Everybody stops. Grimsby run away celebrating, and the referee just shouts, "Play on!" Nobody knew what was going on. I mean, the ball was so far over the line. I was just lying in the net, just at this point, just kind of giving up. And the referee shouts, "Play on!" So we just kind of, somebody runs and just clears the ball. It was the most ridiculous thing. The other decision.
Saka, do you remember Mendes won at Man United? Pretty sure Pedro Mendes scored a goal.
Was that Roy Carroll?
Was Roy Carroll, yeah. Tottenham Man United at Man United, about 3 yards over the line. Referee, play on.
Yeah, unbelievable. The other bad decision I was involved with, that I say with a smile on my face, NCAA final 1988, playing away to Indiana. Indiana are given this dodgy penalty. The referee is none other than Dr. Joe Matchnick, which mightn't mean anything to Don, but Sebi, you know only too well.
Totally, yep.
Dr. Joe, and then in the post-game press conference, I absolutely hammer him. Then I come back to the States, join FC Dallas, and in pre-season they have referees come, well, as they do in England, the referees come and talk about the law changes and what's to be expected, etc., etc. And Dr. Joe was the referee who came to Dallas and came up to me after that talk, and we spoke about that 88 Indiana final and had a little laugh about it. Well, he laughed. I was still grimacing. Yeah. But yeah, Dr. Joe.
Yeah, for those who don't, Dr. Joe, a pundit now, effectively on American television, does a lot of like the referee analysis, so he's pretty well known. You guys clearly have a lot to work on when it comes to letting things go. Don, who is the one pundit you thought would be bad to work with because of the rivalry you had on the pitch, and then realized how different they were outside of football? So basically, who is somebody that you used to hate and now you hate only a little bit less?
Hate's a sort of strong word, because you hate all the players that you play against. You very rarely get on, because we are competitive beasts. So we take our, hatred out of each other when you're on the pitch, because you want to do what you can do, because you want to win the game. Couple spring to mind. Roy Keane, always been a fiery character, still is, still got a little menacing look in his eyes, but actually when you work with him, really, really nice guy. I've worked with Roy, I think, once or twice. And I think the other is Robbie Savage. Robbie Savage, I think, wound everyone up in his playing days, just got stuck into everyone, yapped and yapped and yapped like a little terrier. But actually, when you meet him and when you work with him, really nice guy. I think those two, probably spring to mind.
Shaka, we know from this show's history, Craig a lot nicer now than he was in his playing days.
As is our very own Don Hutchinson. Let me tell you, Sebi.
Really? Was Don a jerk?
Let me tell you something. But hey, listen, in all seriousness, as players, you kind of know. I mean, when you're involved in that dressing room, on the field, whichever way, there's a lot of testosterone flying around, and then you realize off the field, players are so different from what you've come to expect from them on the field. So, in all seriousness, I didn't have any kind of bad relationships with players on the field. Just just because you know that. So I say that totally tongue-in-cheek.
All right, gentlemen, last question. We've come to the end of extra time. Alex wants to know, hey, Seb, how do you feel about Dan getting a nice birthday cake? Did you feel jealous that you didn't get one? So let's address that.
It was a big cake as well, you know, Seb.
You know, I think it's worth noting.
I don't know if you could tell but on camera, the photos, but it was big cake. It was nice. It's really nice.
You know, he tagged me on social media to show off just how big the cake was. The picture wasn't even big enough. I mean, it went outside the frame. And we know Craig is on this show said that your ranking within the show's hierarchy is very much reflected by the size of your birthday cake, which makes me feel, very insecure. I would also like to note that my status here seems to be slipping. In 2019, I was given a cupcake. This year, I was given nothing. So we see that trend, yeah? It's not going well for your boy.
Well, it's good to see you've let it go, Seb.
I can't wait for 2021 now. This is great.
Yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to come into my refrigerator at home and take my birthday cake out. Not even let me eat it there at home. Cut it right out of my plate. All right, gentlemen, great stuff. Always fun to be with you here on Extra Time. To all the fans and viewers, keep sending your tweets. We will be back on tomorrow's show with a look ahead to all of the action this weekend in European football.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.